The Spotlight Initiative has enabled the Ministry of Women to put in place some of its functions, mandated functions as the government ministry to lead the work on gender equality, where ending violence comes in. Over the years, we have been trying to put in place our policy framework, that is the Samoa National Gender Equality Policy. And in that, it's looking at, ensuring that Samoan women are capable, have the qualities and the right capabilities to be able to lead within their communities, in their respective organizations that they are affiliated with. Their contribution through their families, their ainga, as the backbone of, the village development. At the Ministry of Women, we've been very privileged to get the support through the Spotlight Initiative to put in place the overarching policy framework that guides the work on ending violence against women and girls in Samoa. And so being able to bring all our partners together to have those strategic conversations of, where the individual expertise lies and where there's a need, address the gaps, and see how we can really translate our policy framework and the priorities set out in the policy into action words. E lava tātou whainga e fō ia I lava tātou whaafita uli. E le ngata ina sa awhile Samoa o le lou malona fuata, ai tali tonu fo I le filosofia le Samoa, e fofo e le alamea. I think we have, over the years, we have looked outside to, bring in interventions and to bring in solutions. But I believe as Samoans, we do have our own, methods, our approaches that are much more relevant for our context. In the cultural space, we have a lot, from our maile utu wa ngana I le vau ngana, ole lou malona fuata e tau mai e ia tātou. E ia tātou whainga e tala whea ngai mai lea taimi. Through the experience of the Ministry of Women, and I think this is fitting, very fitting to explain the work that is done by the Ministry of Women at the strategic level, right down to the practical work.
The two best practices that SVSG got out of the partnership with Spotlight Initiative is firstly the domestic violence policy, and secondly the digital online market for Nofotani women. When we say the domestic violence policy, it provides the overall direction for SVSG's work for domestic violence. It also provides a practical guideline on how to use the Sakura House, which is the domestic violence shelter for women. And it also ensures that SVSG complies with its vision and mission of its work with regards to survivors of violence. For the digital market, Spotlight Initiative promotes the self-esteem Nofotani women who were in business, especially at the time of the lockdown due to COVID. These women became the breadwinners for their families, and through Spotlight Initiative they were encouraged to earn especially in light of COVID and the lockdown in 2020. The spotlights really enabled SVSG to become a frontline service provider through its virtual connection, through the helpline, through Facebook, and through the email. So instead of us being there out there in the community, we can just be working from home or from our office, but connecting to our survivors through the virtual connection that was made possible through the Spotlights. And secondly, the Spotlights initiative really provides an enabling environment. Again, in light of COVID, it really enables the women survivors of violence to be encouraged and to stand up and become the breadwinners. This was in a time when their husbands, who were usually the breadwinners, were laid off from work because of the border closure and the lockdown. And so the Spotlights really provided that enabling environment by putting the spotlights on what was needed at the time.
It's